35. Though we are at rank 48, but within the specifics of what to say, IT and BPM, we are already at rank 25. And last year was the first year we got into the top 100 for best place for women to work as well. So these are some important aspects from the perspective of the employee experience factor, the kind of connect that we have, the program that we have, and all of this stuff. Okay. Then, any questions at this point of time, or can we get started?
Yeah, we can get started.
Okay. So I'll take some quick notes. What's your total years of experience in Java?
Yes, it is 5 years.
Yes. Okay. What about Spring Boot?
Yes, Spring Boot is almost 3 years.
3 years. Okay. Okay. And what about your experience in Spring MVC?
Yes, I have 1 year of experience into Spring MVC.
Okay. Okay. And what about your experience in design patterns?
Yeah, so actually with design patterns, I can say I have more or less worked on creational design pattern mostly. So it's around, since the past 3 years, I've been actually involved into that.
Okay. Okay. And how about your experience in unit testing tools?
Yeah, so I have experience with JUnits and Mockito framework basically. So it's 5 years. Since the beginning we are writing JUnits for specific feature implementations.
Okay. And how about your experience in any message queue integration?
Yeah, so actually I have experience with Kafka basically.
Okay, got it. And okay, so sounds good. So can you please explain me what are the different design patterns you have used in your application with the example of what is the purpose of the application, what is the reason for using the design pattern, and how did you use the design pattern?
Yeah, so basically design patterns are majorly, you can say, well-proven solutions to tackle problems that are there in day-to-day daily life of a programmer basically. So with design patterns, honestly speaking, I have mostly used the creational design patterns. So I have basically used like factory design pattern to be specific. So into factory, what happens is like in a factory design pattern, you have an interface out of which you have like multiple implementations of that, and you want to actually make your code loosely coupled so that at one place at the factory basically you are making decision which implementation basically you have to actually invoke. So the best example for factory design pattern is Spring Bean factory itself. However, I have used it like suppose we have like in our application we have a number of devices. For example, we have different type of devices which we actually configure. So these are different type of devices, like we have NCS 1K, NCS 2K, NCS 4K, and SVO device. So these are different type of devices. So we basically have like generic code implemented. We have a device interface, and we have multiple implementations of those kind of devices actually based on differing on their type basically, like device 1K, 2K, 4K, like that. So
in your current application, which design pattern you used, and what was the reason to use that? And can you please explain me how that was done basically, technically?
Yeah. So that is what I was saying. Like I was using factory design pattern basically. So we use factory, like we have a device and we have multiple implementations of device. So at one particular place, like there is a factory class where we decide which implementation actually we have to call. Like suppose I get a request for 1K device. So I have a case over there. okay, this is based on this request, I have to actually call this particular implementation of this device. So this was the reason I have used factory, and the reason is I wanted to make my code loosely coupled basically. So that is the reason I used factory design pattern over there.
Okay, sure. Sorry. And can you please tell me what are the different ways in which you can traverse a tree?
Sorry, please come again.
What are the different ways in which you can traverse a tree, binary tree?
Okay, so basically we can actually traverse we can traverse a tree from root to nodes, moving from using the next basically. Is this what is your question? Actually your question is not
Yeah, no, question is clear. There are only three ways you can traverse a tree. Depth first, breadth first. So
okay,
just
okay,
want to
yeah,
understand.
okay.
Okay.
Depth first, yeah, breadth first, yes, it is.
Okay. So can you please explain what is depth first?
Yeah, so into depth first, we basically traverse from root to you can say leaf nodes, and in breadth first we traverse from root and then to the next level all the intermediate nodes, and then going to the next level, and then all the intermediate nodes, like that we reach to the leaf nodes in the hierarchy.
Okay. I pinned a link on the chat. Can you please open on your browser?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Can you please write a code to find the maximum two elements in the array?
You want a code to
The
find,
array.
sorry, find
Array.
maximum two elements of the array, is it?
Array has integers. Find max two elements in the array.
Sure. Like for example, I have something like this.
Yeah, you can have 10 elements, 12 elements, 20 elements. You need to find what are the top two element in the array, the value is.
Sure. Like for example, I have an array like this. So the easiest way I can do is I can do a arrays.sort and then provide an array over here, and I can simply print out okay, maximum is will be array, so it will be array dot length, and the other one will be array dot length minus 1. Something like this by using arrays.sort.
Okay. Got it. Are you done also?
Yes, yes. Or you want me to use some other approach?
No, that's fine. Okay. So now, if you look at the next question, right, I will read out the question. Okay. So basically, the question is about there are 6 arrival times basically, and 6 departure times given in the array.
Okay.
Okay. So you need to go through this one and find out what are the minimum number of platforms we need to have, so that no train kind of waits. Okay, for example, 9 o'clock is the arrival time, 9:10 is the departure time, 9:40 is the arrival time, and that train departs at 12 o'clock. But before it departs, there is another train coming at 9:50, another train coming at 11 o'clock. So this is the input. Basically, it's a direct mapping, arrival and departure.
Okay.
So can you please write the code? And with this data, you can see there are 3 platforms needed. Okay, because it's only 6 data points.
Yeah.
But it could be another 100 or 200, right? So how do you write a code for this to get what are the minimum number of platforms?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I think I have to find the number of this
Or you can tell me the approach. You can tell the approach.
intersections
Yeah, you
basically.
can tell the approach, how we would proceed with this.
So basically, like I will actually iterate from starting from the first to this number of iterations, and then like I will set, suppose for example, minimum number of platforms that are required. For example, first I'll set as 1. Then I will actually iterate through that, and I'll check if suppose this is the start and this is the end, and the next iteration that is starting. So if this one is actually lesser than the ending one, then I will actually increment the platform basically in that case. If basically the departure time of previous previous train is greater than the arrival time of current train, in that case I can, shall I try it with the code?
Yeah, sure.
So will something like this work? I think.
Yeah, I'm seeing your code now. So departure A greater than departure. Okay. Okay. Okay, sounds good. So what are the different Spring Boot annotations that you had used?
Yeah, so coming on to Spring Boot annotations, I have used @Spring Boot application, @REST controller, component, bean. Apart from this, I have used @service, @repository, component configuration, more or less annotations like this. And for validation purposes also, like we have used @size, @min max, things like that. And yeah, more or less, if you want something specific related to validation, so there are a number of validations. And for AutoWired, I have used @AutoWire and qualifier, yeah, more or less, etc. like this.
Okay. And what are the different Java 8 features you had used?
Yeah, so we have actually used functional interfaces, lambda expressions, optional, and streams majorly.
Okay. Give me an example of what is optional.
Yeah, so basically optional, you can say, is kind of a wrapper around an object. So you can actually, it is used to majorly avoid the null pointer exceptions basically. So like you do, suppose you have in a reference and you do a dot get or something like that. So earlier on it used to give basically null pointer errors. But with optionals you can check is present or off nullable. So because of that you actually avoid these null pointer exceptions, and you can check like is present, then only you will try to get the data out of it.
Okay, sure, got it. Okay. And in case of code coverage, right? Um, you mentioned about tools being used. What was your code coverage percentage?
Yeah, it's nearly 90% as of now in our current project. So we are using Sonar Cube for that, basically for calculating the code coverage. So we have actually integrated it with our build pipeline. Basically, as soon as like we push some code onto some branch, so we get basically a job run from Jenkins for that, which actually runs your JUnits, and then it also uses SonarQube to do a static analysis and further find out the code coverage. So as part of that, basically we have and we have certain rules also configured as part of Sonar for the code coverage, that this is the minimum coverage.
What are the errors that you see in the Sonar Cube report?
So, okay, Sonar Cube report actually, that is, there is a dashboard that we have usually with every service. So that is actually associated with that particular dashboard. In basically into that dashboard, so that is Sonar dashboard. I'm not sure how actually they have configured with the build pipeline. So into the job, basically in the logs at the end you get that analysis link. So you click on that and then we can navigate through it. Whereas in this IntelliJ, locally we run it, so we get option to run with coverage. So it automatically runs with coverage and shows you basically.
And what is your notice period?
Yeah, so actually I'm serving on a notice period and my last working day is 9th of April.
9th of April, okay. And why would you prefer Altimetrik?
Yeah, because earlier on I was contacted by Sri Lekha, who was the recruiter. So she told me that there is a lot of work that is there in microservices with the latest technology, and working with PayPal is definitely a good exposure basically with them. So that was I was interested.
Okay, sounds good. And any questions that you have?
Yeah, I would just like to ask what